it might soon be difficult to find an abundance of food on grocery store shelves in Puerto Rico. That's because roughly 90% of food consumed in Puerto Rico is imported, and recent changes to supplies have been detected due to the ongoing war in Ukraine. Our Francis Felix reports.
It is possible that right now or in the next months, you don't find in the supermarket the brands or the variety of products you usually buy. Also, the prices of supplies are going up. It is possible a food shortage in Puerto Rico. Experts in marketing say that one of the main reasons in this change is the supply that gets to the island, that it's a consequence of the war in Ukraine. This with the high cost on fuel and the COVID-19 pandemic.
Supply chain has been obviously affected by all this war, high cost of petroleum and transportation. So we all have seen and lived the increase in the cost of food, and pretty much anything that comes in a boat or flew to get here is going to be affected by these high transportation costs. Definitely the government should be thinking about how to improve the prices of food, either subsidize the local producers somehow, so food can be affordable to all. Let's remember that within the actual context and before the war got in place and all this COVID, already we had an issue of access to nutritious food for most of the groups of Latinos, not only in the U.S., but Puerto Rico is the territory with with the largest lack of nutritional access. Produce has been always an alternative to all people that want to eat good, nutritious food that is locally sourced. And in the context of the war and all these high prices in transportation, Produce makes more sense than ever. We have seen how our prices have kept pretty much in the same level because we don't have, some of the inputs for growing and producing food have been affected, but not as much as something that comes using transportation systems from other places. So Produce definitely is an alternative for those who are looking to still buy locally fresh produce that is not affected as much with these high prices and that food and everything else is seeing right now.
Experts recommend increasing in the production of farinaceous, especially those that are planted underground, like jams, food that are produced in the island. Puerto Rico Produce represents an alternative to connect with those farmer markets. From San Juan, Puerto Rico, Francis Felix.
All right, thanks, Francis. Well, switching gears now to the latest developments in Russia's invasion of Ukraine. As Russia's deadly assault intensifies in the east, Ukrainian forces continue to resist. The Biden administration preparing to send a new round of security assistance to Ukraine. The administration is also unleashing more sanctions, including major banks, individuals, and the first set of penalties against cryptocurrency mining firms. Sanctions have failed to stop Vladimir Putin's aggression so far. Russia now saying it test-launched its new nuclear-capable intercontinental ballistic missile. Putin boasting it makes those who threaten Russia think twice. The Pentagon says Russia notified the U.S. in advance and that the test was routine and not a threat to the U.S. or any of its allies. And now to the latest on the pandemic. The number of COVID-19 cases around the world is steadily dropping. Wednesday, the World Health Organization reported that the number of new cases globally is down 24% from the week before. The WHO says from April 11th through April 17th, decreases in case numbers were reported in all 6 of its regions. COVID-19 deaths also plunged in all 6 regions, with the number of fatal cases down 12%. And the Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, says his ministry will be launching a vaccination campaign in schools across the country when classes resume next week to increase the number of COVID-19 vaccinations. Dr. Anthony said he expects the school vaccination drive which is being done in conjunction with the Ministry of Education, will boost numbers significantly.
There is a lot more work to be done with this age group. Unfortunately, we have been seeing maybe like 100 to 200 vaccinations a day, and that includes both first and second doses. So that's pretty low. And these numbers have been stagnant for quite a while. And I'm hoping that with school reopening shortly, that more parents would give permission for their child to get vaccinated.
Now, the Ministry of Health has conducted several vaccine hesitancy workshops to continue educating citizens about the importance of vaccines in an effort to encourage more people to get the jab. And Minister Anthony said healthcare workers are being drawn into that effort.
The understanding is if our healthcare workers and other stakeholders better understand the reasons why people should be vaccinated, they can become champions of getting people to be vaccinated. And we're hoping that they can talk to people and help to organize these vaccine drives.